The Buddha taught 62 meditation practices, 40 for concentration, 22 for insight practice. And my understanding is that to attain to the truth of not-self and thereby to attain enlightenment, and there are 4 levels of enlightenment, so it's not so easy, it is necessary to practice a concentration technique, one technique of observing the body, and one technique of observing the mind. So there are 40 ways how to get concentration, another 14 ways how to observe the body, and another 8 ways how to observe the mind. So one of the concentration practices, one of the practice of observing the body, and one of the practices of observing the mind is sufficient to get to the full enlightenment. And with the full enlightenment sometimes come the psychic powers as a side effect. So this way there would be a lot of ways, a lot of variations how one can become enlightened, how one can get totally free from greed, hatred and ignorance. As for becoming a monk and going to a cave, that is a big variable. It's not necessary to become a monk, but it is auxiliary. It's not necessary to meditate in a cave, but it's auxiliary. So it's certainly helpful to become a monk because you stay in a more peaceful environment, in an environment more conducive for the meditation practice, for development of your ethics and concentration and wisdom. But there are people who stay as lay people and they also become enlightened, most probably because they are enough lucky to stay in a calm, peaceful environment and still be detached from all things that happen around. As for cave, there is no recommendation for staying in cave. It is good, but staying in cave is not, it's none of the practices. We have 13 ascetic practices that can be followed in addition to the over 90 billion rules that monks have to follow. And these 13 ascetic practices don't contain any practice of staying in a cave. That's because staying in a cave is not enough ascetic yet. Staying in a cave involves that you have roof above your head, and that's not enough ascetic. So one of the ascetic practices involves that you have nothing above your head. Abhokasikanga, the practice of staying in the open. Regardless whether it's sunny or rainy, you are there in the open. Or Rukkamulikanga, that's the practice where you stay under the tree. Under a tree, you just choose one tree and you sleep and you stay, you live at the foot of a tree. So, or there is Susanikanga, the practice of staying in a charnel ground. I'm still searching for a charnel ground. I have that problem in this modern time that charnel grounds are rare. Charnel ground is a place where it's usually behind a village, where the villagers pile up dead bodies. So somebody dies in the village, they take the body and they threw it on a pile behind the village. And gradually there is a pile of dead bodies, but of course the nature is always hungry, so these bodies are gradually eaten first by bacteria, by worms, then by crows, by jackals and other things. And then gradually they decay and become bones or piles of bones. So this is a charnel ground, and that's one of the places which is recommended for monks to stay in, to sleep there, to stay there. But cave is not included, so cave is not necessary.